Hello, welcome back. So this weekend was definitely something in the wonderful world of Breyer horses. As far as I know, Breyer did its first foray into obvious paid YouTube sponsorship. Don't quote me on that, I'm not entirely sure if it was the first time, but it was definitely the first I knew about it. They did a couple of sponsored videos with this channel called Goldilocks, which I have not heard of up until now. But basically it looks like a channel that encourages interest in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in young girls. Through a lot of different things like toys, there's a lot of robot building, and just general crafts, DIYs, that kind of thing. I'm all for it. We need more women in STEM. It's a great thing. But the videos they actually produced were a little bit puzzling. So at first I scanned through these videos with a cursory glance because I really didn't want to watch the whole thing, but for the purpose of being informed, I did watch both of these videos in full to be able to fully comment on them. So I actually just graduated with a degree in communications, and advertising, social media, and stuff like that is actually my thing. For once I actually feel competent to be able to critique something like this. I'm going to do a little dive into what exactly happened here with these videos, what went wrong, what could go better, and what they did right. The first one that came out on, I believe, Saturday was originally teased on Breyer's Instagram of a sneak peek at a new bay Bristol, who was one of the models in this year's premiere club. He's the jumping horse. Naturally, everyone got really excited because everyone wants a Bristol. So we open this video, and right off the bat we can tell it has a great production value. There's obviously some sort of film crew behind her, it's well lit, and right off the bat we have the sponsorship message from Breyer, which is great. Keep it all black and white. But the first thing that struck me is that this video is labeled as Breyer Horse Hacks, and it's just crafts inspired by Breyer horses. To me, a hack is something that will make your life easier that you might have not been aware of. So for example, using a Sharpie to cover up ear tip rubs on a bay horse. Wouldn't totally expect it to work, but it does. For this we go through 3 hacks, which are essentially DIYs. First, she makes a zoetrope with pictures of Breyer horses, which I actually thought was really sick. I'm a huge photography nerd. Super cool. Good on that. And all of a sudden she just whips out this bay Bristol, and basically all the information that she gives on him is that he's never been seen in this color before. He just kind of comes out of nowhere, and he really doesn't have anything to do with any of the hacks. It's just, hey, look at this horse. He's really nice. On to our next hack. I just thought that was a little strange and like a huge missed opportunity. You would think if you're gonna feature something in a sponsored video, you in turn want people to buy that thing. Why wouldn't they just use some sort of current regular run so she could literally say, look at this bay horse, isn't he great? I love him. And if you want one too, click the link in the description and you can get one of your very own. Nobody knows what it is, and honestly, I'm not even sure if she knows what it is, which to me is kind of a red flag. Looking at the way it was inserted into the video, I can't help but wonder if she almost forgot about what was special about him, or if she just forgot to include him in the first place, and it almost seemed like something that you would insert into the video when you forgot it and were like, oh crap, I need to go and film that and insert it into the right spot. And the next hack we have is a ribbon pillow made of rosettes and fabric ribbon, the stuff you win at horse shows. So there's 2 points I have regarding that. The first is that Breyer, this would have been a great opportunity to plug model horse showing. You have your own model horse shows at Breyerfest and Breyer West. So even just a quick mention to be like, hey, did you know that you can actually show your Breyer horses too and win ribbons like this? If you want more information, you can go to XYZ page on BreyerHorses.com. And that would be a great way to introduce new blood into the showing hobby, which we desperately need. And frankly, so many people just don't know that model horse showing exists, especially someone who's going to stumble upon this Goldilocks video, who most likely isn't a huge part of the model horse community. And a second point is that by doing this and not mentioning model horse showing, is Breyer basically saying that they assume their clientele is also well off enough to own and show a real horse to win those ribbons, which to me is a bit problematic. There's more on that coming later. Finally, the last hack is probably one of the most scary things I have ever seen. What she does is she takes probably about $75 to $85 worth of stablemates to make them into the world's least functional bowl full of holes made of scary melted horses that she just spray paints gold. So I don't really know what to say about that. And aside from the message at the beginning saying that Breyer sponsored the video, there's actually no direct call to action to engage with Breyer Horse's social media or website. Closest thing that happens is she mentions you should tag the Breyer Horses account if you're doing these hacks and post a picture on Instagram. Huge missed opportunity. They spend all this money to sponsor this video, and yet they give so few options for people to actually come and engage with their stuff easily. People are lazy on the internet now. They want links, they want stuff shown right in front of them. They're not gonna go search that out on their own. So obviously things blew up and people had a lot of similar concerns that I have. What is this Bristol? Why is he here? Why did they choose to go this route for premiering him? And what is up with that stablemates bowl? And what do you know, it wasn't over just yet. So yesterday, Goldieblocks uploaded another Breyer sponsored video, and this time it was titled Quarter Horse versus Gypsy Vanner Robot Battle or something along those lines. If you take a cursory glance at Goldieblocks' other videos, you'll notice that there's a lot of robot battles where essentially what they do is they take toys, hot glue them to some sort of moving robot vehicle, and then battle them out to see who wins. It's the kind of thing you would do in your science club in middle school or high school, you know what I mean. So we start with another obvious sponsorship message at the beginning, good job, and we're introduced to two girls who are making their robots to fight against each other today, and they just go over the simple technical specs of their robots, which I think is pretty cool actually. And remember what I said about hot gluing toys to robots? Yeah, we hot glued a few Breyer horses to some robots, we sure did. So the first robot has a Cherry Creek Fonzie covered in pink glitter, who is also continuously referred to as a girl, even though he has very obvious stuff going on down there, and is hot glued to a truck, also full of pink glitter. It's pretty scary to look at, but when you think about it, he's a regular run dude. I guess no harm, no foul, they're having fun. Then Stacy happens. Stacy is the other robot. Stacy consists of a web special Gettysburg Goffert, who, mind you, retailed for $175 from Breyer and is a limited edition of 350 pieces. You know what happened to him? He was totally hot glued onto a horse trailer, and he has a halter put on completely haphazardly to the point where I'm even wondering if these girls have any interest in horses or if they're just doing this for the video. And of course, my inner collector is absolutely screaming! So this is where I'm going to come back to the disparity thing. Breyer obviously just gave this horse to these girls to pretty much bedazzle it and kind of just frankly ruined it. It makes me wonder, like, does Breyer see these $175 models they're selling us as toys? Because I mean, to me, it's a pretty significant purchase, so is Breyer laughing behind our backs because we actually pay this much for these things? I don't want to get too far into it, but I think it's food for thought, honestly. To sum up the video, the robots battle, and of course Stacy loses, and our beautiful Gettysburg, who has been bedazzled and subjected to various forms of plastic horse torture, has his final resting place in a lovely vat of slime. But one thing that they did do right in this video that they didn't do in the Bristol video is at the end they do have a proper call to action for Breyer, and they do specifically direct people to look in the description and go to Breyer's website. So I'm going to wrap this up with a few closing thoughts on this whole kerfuffle. First is that this whole channel seems like kind of an odd choice for Breyer for their first sponsorship foray, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, I guess. When I think of Breyer horses, I think more of imagination and imaginative play than science stuff. The channel does do a lot of stuff with toys and games and stuff like that, so I guess. But just with the subject matter of the video, I felt like it really wasn't tailored to the company at all. I felt like you could put any other toy in place of the Breyer horse in both of the videos, and they would be relatively the same thing. They really didn't go into detail of why you should buy Breyers, why you should invest in Breyers, why Breyers are better than other model horses, and other toys in general. They said nothing about Breyer history, why they like Breyers, what their favorite ones are, what their favorite activities to do are with Breyer horses aside from the hacks video, which arguably really didn't have anything to do with model horses at all. If you want to sell something to me, you need to show me why it's worth it. I also noticed that there were very few calls to action in both the videos, which, to be honest, I think is better than having too many. I'm not a huge fan of calls to action, but I know they're kind of an inevitable thing with the way YouTube has gone now. I just generally find them kind of tacky and impersonal. I don't know, that's just my own thoughts. There was very little information given to the viewer about where to actually purchase these horses, aside from directing them to the Breyer website. And I noticed that the girl in the Bristol video mentioned Walmart for like a solid 30 seconds. That would have been a great time to plug the fact that Breyer just started selling horses in Walmart again. And to wrap up with the Bristol thing, I honestly think there was miscommunication between either Goldieblocks or Breyer somewhere down the line. Either I think Breyer wasn't specific enough with what they wanted from them, or the girl in the video just legitimately forgot what she needed to say about the horse. When you're producing a video like that, there are deadlines you have to meet, so sometimes you do have to sacrifice quality to make sure that the video goes out on time. So it wouldn't surprise me if something went wrong there that made the video a lot more obtuse than it actually was supposed to be. But what if Breyer intended this the whole time? No, I honestly don't think Breyer was expecting all of these negative responses because of these videos, but hear me out. This really could have been the plan all along. So when you're advertising to the public, there's two types of exposure that you can get. The first one is paid media. In this case, the paid media was Breyer paying Goldie Blocks, whether it be in a monetary amount or in the items used for the video. Whatever they were actually paid is inconsequential, doesn't matter. So by paying this channel to put their name out, Breyer is hoping that traffic will be redirected back to them. But also, when you put out paid media, you hope that your investment will return in the form of earned media, which is media that was generated from the buzz that was created by the paid media. Essentially, Breyer's hoping that by paying Goldie Blocks to make these videos, people will start talking about Breyers and what happened in these videos, and everyone will be like, oh my god, I have to see that. And when it comes down to it, in the world of advertising, bad attention isn't necessarily bad. As long as you're getting attention and you're getting revenue from that attention, it really doesn't matter too much. Because if you think about it, even if you have a negative reaction to this video, the fact of the matter is, they already got your ad revenue from the ad that ran before you watched it. And I highly doubt that Goldie Blocks had very many subscribers that were hardcore model horse collectors. So when you do have these hardcore model horse collectors up in arms over what you put in your video, it's not like you're losing subscribers because they were never subscribed in the first place. When I first read that Breyer sponsored a video where Gettysburg was completely bedazzled, attached to a robot, and dumped in a vat of slime, I didn't believe it was true. So you know what I did? I went and watched the video. And was I happy about it? I sure wasn't, but they still got my money. So for them, my negative viewing was still a positive viewing because they made money. And even by making this video to draw attention to the videos that were just posted, I'm gonna be sending traffic over there too. So even though this video isn't necessarily a positive take on what happened, I'm still giving them positive revenues, so who's the fool here? And that, my friends, is how the wonderful world of advertising works. So I hope I didn't ramble on too long. I hope to just make something largely impartial, somewhat impartial, just kind of going through what happened here, what was good, what was bad, and why it happened. So I hope you enjoyed your little mini lecture on Breyer's advertising methods. I'm very excited to see what they do from now on, if they carry on with something like this, or if they try to refocus back into their current niche. We'll just have to wait and see. Feel free to use the comments down below as a springboard to discuss your personal opinions on the whole Bristolgate and Gettysburg incident. I'm very curious to see your thoughts. So for now, I am signing off. Thanks for watching. See you later.